Sorry, a message was being left. So, yesterday, I just want to tell you the type of crazy temperatures we've been having here in southern Oregon. Where we live is the hottest that I have seen anybody posting. It was yesterday a high of 123. We have never had that type of weather here. I remember one time many years ago we reached 111. I personally thought I was going to die at that point. But now I know I can even survive 123 as long as the AC is working. Today only reached 109. I'm really saying that tongue in cheek because that is crazy hot. And I'm just not a hot weather person. So I've been doing all I can inside. Yesterday I pitted cherries all day. I just did them by hand. And I sat and I watched a bunch of TV while I was doing it. It was kind of just a nice relaxing way with the fan blowing on me and the air conditioner going. We just have a window air conditioner and trying to keep up. We have a pretty large house with one air conditioner. Wasn't working too good. So by the time it was evening, it was 89 degrees in the house. And I went out about 9:30 to do my stuff in the garden, and when I saw that it was down to 85 outside and 89 inside, I turned off the air conditioner, got all the box fans going in all the windows, and began to try to cool it off that way. Wasn't very effective. It was still 75 degrees this morning at 5 in the morning. So let's see. Another thing that I did to try to combat part of this heat is I went and invested in a bunch of vinyl roll-up, what do you call them? Shades. And to go on the outside of the house. Another person that lives here began installing them for me yesterday, and just to try to get a little bit more shade for the house. We are in a very sunny location. We have a nice, large, huge sycamore tree in the front yard, which gives us a lot of shade in the front corner of our house for quite a few hours. But all the rest is in full sun. So I'm hoping that will help. Another thing that I was able to purchase, and I felt like I just got a really screaming good deal on Facebook Marketplace, which is something I'm always checking. Somebody had taken out an attic exhaust fan, and they said it worked very good. It's thermostat control, and I was able to get that for $25. So now I just have to try to get it installed. And I know exactly where I want it. I'm actually going to have it put at the gable end of the attic, where we currently have a window. And I think it will work really nice there and should help us control the temperature. The water got so hot. We have a koi pond in our backyard. It's a very sheltered corner of our backyard, and it is several hundred gallons. I don't know how many. It's got to be at least 600 gallons. It's a stock tank, and I keep koi in there. The water got too warm in the koi pond. I didn't know that koi were sensitive to the water temperature. I didn't even think about that water getting too warm because it's usually so cold I can't hardly stick my hand in it very long to try to collect leaves and stuff out of there. But I lost my largest koi. And it wasn't huge, but I don't know, probably 10 inches maybe. And so that was really sad thing for us to happen. So we pumped a bunch more river water into the tank after bailing out some of that warmer water. The other fish seem to be doing just fine. And the weather is supposed to be not going to be as extreme. I think tomorrow's supposed to be 98 or something for a high, so that should be better. So what gardening I have been doing has been happening at night. I go out about 9:30. I know that seems really late, but I'd rather work in the cool, even if it's dark. And so I have been watering every night. Raised beds are wonderful. I absolutely love them, but they drain very quickly, and so they do require more water, even though they're very, very heavily mulched. That's one reason that I'm going to be switching as many of my beds as possible to a hugelkultur type of bed, in hopes that that will retain more water inside of the raised bed itself. So yesterday, or last night, I went out to, fertilize the garden. Hadn't done that in quite a long time and felt like it was time. Oh, and by the way, my chickens are doing fine. They've got lots of water. I am not locking them up at night in this extreme weather. I just think the coop would just be too hot for them. So I'm leaving the doors wide open. I have 2 little chicken doors that I'm using, and then I also have the people door. And so those have been left wide open. So yesterday when I went out, like I started to say, my dogs went out. They always, burst out like bullets out of here, and they're checking out the perimeters and seeing what all's going on. When suddenly Ruby, my shepherd, began barking in a way I really have never heard her bark before. She was in the back corner. I didn't know what she was after, but she was definitely after something. We do have cougars, we have coyotes, and an occasional wolf in this area. So, that's a concern. I also was concerned that maybe a neighbor's cat was out there and, she was being territorial. I didn't want her to kill anything. So I called her back in, and when I called her back to the garden where I was really caught with a nasty surprise. What she had been chasing was a skunk. I haven't went out to check. I personally hope she killed the thing, because it has been coming around and making me quite nervous, as it's close to my bedroom and stuff. I don't want any spraying going on. But of course, Ruby got sprayed for her first time. Coco got a little bit of the scent on her, but Ruby really was bad. So I finished my fertilizing and my watering of the main garden. And then I mixed up a mixture of hydrogen peroxide and baking soda. I put a little bit of Dawn soap in it, just hoping that that would make it stick to them a little bit better. And I pasted up the dogs very heavily, especially Ruby. I mean, I just coated her. The back porch really looks like quite a disaster. In fact, so does my bedroom. It's still covered with a lot of this that has dried now and is a white powder all over my floor that I haven't got to yet. So I did that, got them into my bathroom and just shut them in there because that mixture needs to stay on them for a while. Then I went out into the front and I watered my flowers and took care of things, came in and watched a program. So I left it on him about an hour. The next thing that I got to do was to have the joy of trying to get 2 large dogs, one at a time of course, into the shower to finish bathing them. I don't know why I have never had a dog that enjoys getting a shower. And these 2 dogs are no exception. And as I get older, it is more of a struggle to manhandle them into the shower, but I did manage to get them both in, got them scrubbed and cleaned, and then took a shower myself because I was covered with hair and dirty and sweaty by that time. And then I left them in the bathroom for several hours, towel dried them, left them in the bathroom for several hours so they would dry enough. My dogs sleep on my bed, and the last thing I need is wet dogs on my bed. So about 4 in the morning I woke up and went in, let them out of there and into the living room, through the rugs that were of course soaked, into the washer, got them going, and the towels that I had dried them with and were on the floor. And so I got all that going, and then I shut them out because they were still, a little moist, and they stayed in the living room. That works so good. If I stick my nose right up to Ruby's head, her forehead area, I can still smell a little bit of skunk smell. It is so little, and that's only because I just didn't want to get that mixture in her eyes. So if you ever have that problem, I suggest you try that. It works really well. Well, I found 2 more small containers, probably about, I don't know, 3.5 quarts of pie cherries in my refrigerator that I didn't get to yesterday. I need to go ahead and get to those tonight. And so I'll just end this video now. I want to pray blessings and peace for you and yours. And remember, keep dreaming.